Hello everyone, here's Paul from rmpforex.com and welcome to the weekly review of 4 top cryptocurrencies. Every Saturday I'm sharing my strategic direction and reference points based on Master Forex with technical analysis for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple against US dollar. And don't forget that you can vote for the 5th cryptocurrency. So if you would like me to review one of the cryptocurrencies that you're interested in, just post that cryptocurrency name in the comment section below, and the cryptocurrency that will collect the most votes, I will take a look at it and share my strategic direction and my reference points during next review. Before we proceed, make sure you read through the risk disclaimer. It is very important. Click the pause button if you need some more time, and let's go straight into the charts. First is Bitcoin as usual, and for D1 time frame we have these two reference points. So if we'll break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of D1 time frame, and then from that reference point I will start use my trend following trading system long term, and after we'll break through that reference point I will wait Bitcoin to go and test this price. On the other hand, if we'll break through this reference point, then we will have an FZR of all time frames down, and also here we will have an FZR of D1 time frame down, and then the fall of Bitcoin will proceed. As long as we're between those two reference points, we're in D1 flat phase, and D1 is a 50-50 place where I would not make any decisions regarding investments and all that stuff. But those of you who's following my reviews for a longer time, you will know that I am intraday trader. So for me, this H4 time frame is more interesting. Here, after this FZR of H4, a trend phase of H4 started, and here you can see I have marked a pivot point that was protecting this H4 trend up, and as you can see that pivot point is broken. So now, based on H4 for my intraday trading, I have these two reference points. If we'll break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of H4 time frame, and once we break through that reference point, we will start a trend phase down of H4. On the other hand, if we'll break through this reference point, a trend phase of H4 will proceed, and we will see what will happen after that. We'll have then the new reference points, the pivot point will move into that place, but it's too early to talk about that. At the moment we are between those two reference points, so as long as we're between those two reference points, H4 is in a flat phase, and as you know, I don't trade inside the flat phase. I will have to wait until we'll break through any of those reference points. If we'll break through that reference point here, also keep in mind that we'll have that whole trend up will finish and stop, and we'll have two new reference points for D1 time frame. But again, that's a bit too early to talk about that. So two reference points that I am looking at the moment are these two. Once we break through any of them, then I will start use my trend following trading system. So that's the idea with Bitcoin. Let's go next to Ethereum against US dollar. For Ethereum, it is very important to know, first of all, that this wave here, this impulse up, finished that whole wave down. So we have now two new reference points, and I think we will get stuck in that all-time flat phase for the long time. But this time frame is a bit too high for me, so again I am going down to H4, and here you can see we have also here an FZR of H4 that was created by this here, by that FZR, and the trend phase started. And also you can see here that we have a pivot point that is protecting this trend phase up, and the pivot point, as you can see, is not broken. So at the moment we have here a wave number 4, and if we will break through this reference point, then we'll have a wave number 5, and then MF elder trend prolongation, and then here a new FZR up can happen. But at the moment we don't have that. So at the moment I have here a new impulse down. Based on AO, I can see that these two are the reference points that I'm using for my own trading. So once we'll break through this reference point, we'll have an FZR of H4 down, and then the trend phase down will start. On the other hand, if we'll break through this reference point, then we will have that scenario with wave number 5, and then we will see what will happen after that. As long as we're between those two reference points, H4 is in a flat phase, and I will stay away from Ethereum until we'll break through any of those reference points, so I could start to use my trend follow trading system. So that's the quick idea with Ethereum. Let's go next, Litecoin against US dollar. Litecoin is kind of similar to Bitcoin. We have D1 flat phase with 2 reference points for D1. If we'll go and break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of daily time frame, and the trend phase of D1 will start after breaking through that reference point. On the other side, if we'll go and break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of D1 down, and the trend phase of all time frames, or the trend phase of D1 down, will start, and then we will see a fall of Litecoin. But as long as we're between those 2 reference points, D1 flat phase will proceed. For me, D1 at the moment is a bit too high for my day trading, so I'll move to H4. Here you can see also an FZR of H4 happened, and trend phase of H4 was happening. But what's interesting here, that based on AO, this wave here, and that's the difference from Bitcoin, this wave here is a higher level than this wave here. So if we will break through this reference point, then we will have a new FZR of higher time frame up, and then I can start use my trend following trading system after this point. On the other hand, if we'll break through this reference point, then we'll have a H4 FZR down, and then trend phase of H4 will start, and then I can start use my trend following trading system there as well. As long as we're between those 2 reference points, H4 flat phase will proceed, and I will stay away from Litecoin with my trading for intraday. For those of you who is wondering what do I mean by intraday trading, so once I have a strategic direction on H4 or D1, then I move to M15 timeframe, and I try to catch a wave that will fit into a daily session. So I would try to open my trades in the morning and close my trades in the evening. So for me, it is important first to decide what the strategic direction is based on H4. And here you can see that's the same H4 flat phase, and these are the same reference points, but just from M15 timeframe view. So as long as we're between those 2 reference points, Litecoin will stay in H4 flat phase, and I will stay away from Litecoin. Right, so the next is Ripple. Let's take a look at Ripple against USD. As you can see here, we have also a H4 FZR up, and a trend phase up was happening, but also you can see here a pivot point that was protecting this trend up. And as you can see, once that pivot point was broken, that whole wave is now finished. So we have now 2 new reference points for H4. If we will break through that reference point, we'll have a H4 FZR down, and a trend phase down will start again. On the other hand, if we'll break through this reference point, we will have a new daily FZR up, and then trend phase will start after this point, and then I can start use my trend following trading system. As long as we're between those 2 reference points, H4 flat phase is happening, and I'm staying away from Ripple because I am not trading in a flat phase. From D1, as you can see, this pivot point means that impulse is finished. So we have 2 reference points, and D1 flat phase is between those 2 reference points. If we'll break through this reference point, we'll have D1 FZR up and a trend phase up of daily time frame. And on the other hand, if we'll go and break through this reference point, we'll have a new FZR of all time frames, and then probably 0 will be the next target. So as long as we're between those 2 reference points, I'm staying away from Ripple USD, and we'll see what reference point we'll break through, and we'll see what will happen next. So that's the idea for Ripple against US dollar. Guys, I remind you, if you would like me to review cryptocurrency that you are interested in, just leave your vote in the comment section below, and during the next review next Saturday, I will take a look at the cryptocurrency that will collect the most votes. If you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, I will be more than glad to chat with you. Leave your comments in the comment section below. And for those who is still not subscribed to my channel, click the button, click to subscribe, and I'll talk to you the next Saturday.